welcome to another episode of Husbands Watching Housewives. I'm Scott.
And I am Jeff.
And we just watched the finale, I guess this reunion finale for the Real Housewives of New York City.
Yes, it is the end of the season.
It is end of the second season with a new cast, but 15th season overall.
Yes.
And I'm surprised. I thought that went way better isn't the right word to describe that, but it went better than I expected.
I was surprised because I was like, how are they going to pack so much into this one episode? But they really did. I think 2 episodes is the way to go for reunions. And they're okay.
You say that every time, like, oh God, but then you love all 3 episodes.
I do. Well, I mean, yeah, sometimes you need 3 episodes, like with Salt Lake, because so much happened on every episode of Salt Lake. But, you know, sometimes there could have been a lot of filler in New York because there was a lot of filler in the season itself.
Right.
So I think making it 2, it was concise, as Rebecca said, quick and dirty.
Mm-hmm.
So, but really...
or in her case, really awkward.
Should we start with Rebecca?
I think we have to.
I mean,
first she came out guns a-blazing for Aaron, just like
out of nowhere. Yeah,
we're not expecting, and then she just was so, just so
defensive. It's like she was like, you know, like she watched every episode and she was ready to talk about it, and you know the girls were like, "You didn't want to talk about Scientology. Now, why do you want to talk about it?" And then I love that Correction was like, "You said it was a religion here, but before you said it was a philosophy." And
I didn't catch that, but now that you mention it, I do. Yeah,
they did twice to her.
Yeah. You know, I can see her frustration. Like, I wouldn't want to just be like, that's not the only thing going on about her, but it is a noteworthy thing. And
that's why she was hired. It's part of the big reason why she was hired.
Yeah, it was really sobering seeing her in the helicopter talk about, well, you know, the brand, my brand. You know, but just how stuff they just don't air because for obvious reasons. It was interesting to see that she just up and admitted that really I'm doing it for this. So I can see how that would set Brynn like a little combative of like, oh, you're not even here to really show us, you know, your life. You're just trying to promote your brand.
You're not here to get to know us.
Yeah. So it's like, what's the point? So I can see why, you know, Brynn would come for her a little bit more because of that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I really liked Rebecca. Like, I mean, she really didn't offer a whole bunch, but
I'm not fake joking.
Oh, you're real choking? Okay.
No,
I don't think she
You really liked Rebecca?
I thought she was fine. I mean, I don't need every housewife to be like, you know, fireworks and, you know, drama. I thought she was a good, like, I'm hanging out, doing my thing. Like, what do you want? And so, I mean, do I need to see her every episode? She was a friend of. She did her job.
I mean, yes and no. She wasn't offensive to me. She was fine, but she wasn't really bringing much to the table, especially in like this whole sphere of friends this year. Like, she was pretty weak.
But no one was really bringing anything to the table most of the season. So just the fact that the season ended the way that it ended made it seem okay. And it brought a lot of stuff together.
She especially wasn't bringing anything. Like, she brought you guys, we need to eat now. No one's eating all day, all right?
She was.
They're just cranky.
Mother, such was.
I mean, I just, you know, she wasn't going to give what they wanted her to give, which was like an interesting point of view about herself. I thought it was when she said, you know, Scientology did all this for me, and like she named off those things, and the Brynn was like, why didn't you say that on the show? You know, she was just reluctant to really, I think, give a lot. So that's why I don't feel like I got a lot from her.
Oh yeah,
and that's why I was like, not that I'm trying to compare her to like Brittany or Alexis or whatever, but like she was just kind of like a little wah-wah. You know? No,
I don't deny that she wasn't womp, but I just don't know why people expected her to give like brilliance when, you know, she gave fine. I mean, it was fine. Andy was really like trying to...
Well, you know why? Because she was coming at production saying that like she thought that she was portrayed one way, and the second you do that, it's not going to go well for you.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they took what she gave them, and I don't think it was that much. And he was, though, like, he was on her neck, like he was on Jessel for her telling what she had done.
Yeah.
It was like, no, really. And so from Athens, Georgia says, and I'm like,
yeah. I was like, God, leave her alone. I mean, it did seem a little like, you know, she already said that she doesn't appreciate like everyone coming for her about Scientology. And
calling it a
that's
cult.
all Andy kept doing.
Yes.
So,
Cult.
But at the same time, he was just also very much like, all right, see you later. Anything else anyone wants to say before she goes?
Awkward. Everyone's like, nope.
Yeah.
Can I get a touch up? That's what I want to say.
Yeah.
You know, it felt like when no one is sad to see you leave, then you're not coming back.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
They're like, bye. You know, like we tried, but you weren't really
giving us much.
Yeah.
So then after she left, this reunion is even more than the first half, had so much behind the scenes stuff.
I liked it.
Which
wow.
I do like for sure. And it's like, I guess they're smart to keep the cameras rolling. I wonder if it just had to be like natural.
It's like you're never
going
it's like you're never off camera. It's like I would be like, can I eat my salad and my bra if I'm sorry? I just took off my Scarlett O'Hara dress. It goes to a funeral. I want to eat my salad.
Yeah.
No, you cannot. Here's the camera.
It was smart of them to do that, and I think it gives, I don't know, for a show that was very self-aware of itself all season, self-aware of itself.
Very much so.
Yeah. To continue that sort of like, behind the scenes sort of thing where the part of their reality is being on the show. Mm-hmm. It made it a little bit more meta, but it made it a little more interesting for sure.
Yeah.
So,
we actually, going back a second, because we didn't get into the whole Jessel of it all, where she was saying that Pavic questions everything she does now because she...
That sounds like there's other problems in your marriage.
I mean, there already was, but like, I mean, to be like, he believed that what Brynn was saying, that this other dude was the love of her life, and now he's like, you can't go to the corner store for some milk. You're good.
I think that seems like she's maybe exaggerating something, or if anything,
she's like, everything I do, he questions me, man.
That seems a little much. I mean, I can see him like joking, like you and I would do that. It'd be like, oh, am I not the love of your life? That sort of thing.
Sorry, the not love of your life is going to go take care of your kids right now.
Exactly.
Have fun on that vacation. Don't screw the love of your life while you're out there.
Like,
yeah.
I'm going to go get a sandwich. Are you going to be screwing the love of your life while I'm gone?
And that's when she's going to be like, good luck in Vietnam.
I can see there being jokes made, but I hope that's not.
I don't think Pavic is that funny, so probably not.
I think Pavit's funnier than you give him credit for.
Look, I'm not going to try to start something with that one fan. It's just not having us about the whole Pavit at all. So I'm going to leave that right where it is. But I thought that was really interesting.
I think that's strong words, assuming that person who leaves that comment is actually a fan of ours. That maybe they just listened once or twice. But hi.
And they're like, these Moes.
Yeah. Damn Moes, they're all wrong. No, then I don't think their issue was...
Not calling homophobic.
No, I don't know. Hey, Mo's a term of endearment for us.
But we can say it.
I don't think that they're necessarily, Team Pavic. I think that what they're saying is that Sai owes Pavic a...
That person was hardcore Team Pavic.
Okay, all right. Moving on.
They have lunch and they get into the Puerto Rico of it all. Mm-hmm. So this is where I say, like, Ubah lost me.
Yeah.
Like, just admit that you could have said things in a different way. But she just doubled down like, no, that's what it was. I loved Puerto Rico, but the beach was dirty. And it's like, and even when I try to say, like, we don't want to have that, that representation of Puerto Rico, and she's like, no, that beach was dirty, the water was dirty. And it's like, and then to say to Raquel, I don't care, it was like, okay, then why are am I here?
And that's the whole problem, I think, with Ubah. What we were getting before the whole finale was she's just so dismissive.
Yes.
Just so like, my opinion is my opinion, and and that's all the only thing that matters. And it's like she can't see someone else's point of view, and that's just when you're friends with someone like that, you're just like, well, why? And it's exactly what Aaron and they were all saying is like, then why do we even try to open our mouths? Like, if we're going to say something, you're going to just dismiss us. You're going to be pissed off by it and insist that it's only your way and no other way. Then why are we even going to try?
Like, I think Ubah is a great friend, but I also think that she must be a high maintenance friend.
Oh yeah,
because to tiptoe around her and not want to have the fight because it'll be a very lengthy fight. Then how do you call her out on stuff? Well, if you're like scared that she's gonna be, just shut you down, then like I'm not saying it's a one-sided friendship, but I'm saying it's a high maintenance friendship, it seems, from what they're saying.
Well, I think Erin did a good job of explaining it, that like Ubah just jumps and assumes that she knows exactly what you're going to be talking about, and then assumes the worst of your intentions for it. It's not like you could be trying to do anything else other than make Ubah bad,
or just just express yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
So I agree. I got lost a little bit on that, and it was reminded again that Ubah was what did Brynn call her, a 6 foot tall baby,
toddler.
Yes. So it's like she was acting. She acts spoiled.
It's a reminder that so many things on the show, two things, as Jenna said, can be the same at the same time.
Right.
Can be. Yeah,
it can be true at the same time.
It's true at the same time. What happened to Ubah at the end of the season was horrible. How Ubah behaved earlier in that trip was horrible.
Yeah.
So it not one does not negate the other.
Yeah, I think also the whole idea of Ubah saying, Raquel as the host should have assigned rooms and made sure it was all fair and equitable.
And Annie shut that down like, nah, not always.
That's not how it always happens.
Sorry, Sutton, no.
Yeah. But at the same, exactly. And then, that's the example of like Ubah just wouldn't listen to what was being said. Like Raquel was saying like, I got the master bedroom, but I shared it with Jenna. Like, that's not like I could have taken it for myself and told you all to, kick rocks.
Yeah.
So... you're still holding on to Piss Up a Rose.
No, I like Piss Up a Rose.
No, it's good. No, I feel like I say it too much. So
no,
I'm not used to hearing it.
I almost said it at work. I was about somebody. I was like, just Piss Up a Rose.
Oh, you should say it at work.
Yeah,
I think it's appropriate. Like, Kick Rocks is my latest.
I do like Kick Rocks.
Kick Rocks.
Yes.
So, Ubah just definitely. I think what Erin was saying was correct.
Yes. And it was so awkward when they started kind of getting into it, and you're this far away from the other person. You're like, this is why. They thought this would be a safe couch setting. Yeah. And there's like, no, well, you did. I was like, oh, gosh.
Yeah. When they have to do too close to each other shouting, it's a bit much.
That and that damn reflection off of Erin's dress. Good Lord.
Yeah. I mean, it didn't bother me because I think she didn't notice it because it doesn't hit her face. It just hits her under her. Like her beard area.
Like it was like someone in production should have been like, well, what can you do though? You can't make her change dresses, but like that's why you need to, sit down in the dress and really experience it, and before you choose the dress, because
I think it's also studio lighting did a whole different number because there's so many more lights around you.
That's true, and it really just like was like boom, boom, like like she was lit like a 1930s starlet.
Yeah. I think the way. I don't know, like there's so much detail into, how they approached Brynn. I think it was very good that they were all pretty much trying to get her just to take accountability for the fact that she said something and was painting Ubah out to be some horrible monster for not knowing when, and then,
Well, it's like, I mean, it was there. It was also with the whole, I don't want you to be perceived as an angry black woman thing.
Right.
She just kept spinning. Sorry, I'm spinning and spinning and spinning. And it's like, just say it was wrong. Like there's so much, she had so much to it, and really it should be so much more straightforward. That's the thing with Brynn.
Right.
It can't just be like, you know what, that was, I meant it one way. It didn't come off the way I wanted it to. I'm sorry I said that. That definitely was a microaggression, et cetera, et cetera. Instead, it's like, well, da da da, and like she goes from like A, B, C, D when there's a clear path to D.
Right. Well, that's who was saying it during the break. They were like, when they went in, was it Jenna talking?
I think it was Jenna
saying like, no, just don't need. You're making it harder than it needs.
You
to
keep
be.
digging.
Yeah, you keep digging.
Yeah.
Just, and I get, I get not wanting to, I get not wanting to give in to a point and be like, I don't want to simply apologize for the sake of apologizing and make, who knows what assumptions the others will have about what that apology really means. So like I can see, Brynn wanting to stick by, her guns and kind of, remain defensive about it. But I think ultimately Jenna is right that like she was digging in too deep because, I mean, especially in a housewife situation, Brynn could have apologized And then everyone reads into it their own little meaning about, oh, well, she apologized because she knows that she did something horrible. Oh, she apologized because they would all interpret it differently. So I can see why you would want to talk it out and like really get to the heart of it and make sure that you're apologizing about the right thing. And I think ultimately she did get there. And I think also Ubah was tremendously magnanimous to
very much so.
I believed her very wholeheartedly when she said, I forgive you. Like, I'm not holding anything about this situation, against you. I know that it's a miscommunication and it's not, I was kind of reading it as though it's not worth hashing the semantics about this any longer than we already have.
Yeah, it's like who did I say it to you? Did I not say it to you? Did you hear it? Was I word vomiting and it just like got lost?
Right.
And you're focused on something else. Who knows? But the meat of it is that Ubah didn't know. Right. Whether it was like said out loud and she didn't hear it, the overall thing is she didn't know. So, and I think, Brynn like couldn't just say, you know what, let's leave it at that. She didn't know. And everything was hinging on that. And then when I said maybe she didn't clock it, you had to have known, but I guess obviously she didn't, that the other woman would be like, wait a second, we were like so on your side. Mm-hmm. We were like so mad at Ubah. And then you flip this around and it just like, it blew everything up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, no one doesn't believe that, everyone believes that you were assaulted.
Right.
But we also, are upset that you spun this thing to make Ubah look bad. Intentionally or not, that was the thing. So let's say you weren't intentionally trying to do it to make her look bad or take her down or ruin her, but that could have happened based on what you told us.
Right.
So if Justin had not told Ubah, we wouldn't be here.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that they were already like, oh my God, I can't believe Ubah would be doing that. Mm-hmm. Like, and they had already gone on cameras and made,
yes.
They'd already made it out like we were not feeling Ubah. So yeah, damage was already done. Yeah. And then to find out, here I am thinking like, oh, they went up right there. Like it's the real world in 1995. And like, they're doing the confession that night.
Yeah, right.
What kind of idiot am I? I'm a tired idiot. That's what I'll tell you. But yeah, I think that I think it was handled well. I'm glad that, I think because Ubah did say what she said, to Brynn, that Brynn was able to kind of feel better about it. Then I think with Raquel going in during the break and,
that really hit me. I feel that because one, I think Raquel is a really great person. And I feel like, she was saying, we don't want her to think that we do not believe her,
right?
And that we're all against her. It's just that, it got really messy and effed up. And, we were just, I think Raquel felt bad that she said in her confessional, like, I knew she was lying. Mm-hmm. And maybe that Brynn was interpreting that as like lying about the assault. I don't know.
Right.
For whatever reason, I like that Raquel came to her and said that.
Yeah. And made sure that they had an understanding and they had it. Yeah.
Like, I think that whole conversation with Ubah and Brynn was great, from the hug to the like sitting down and talking. And I do feel like Brynn is remorseful. Doesn't take away, I think she has a lot of work to do on herself, because she does seem to really be struggling, as they all said. And so, and she has a very loose relationship with facts sometimes. Consistency. Yes. And I feel like she just really needs to, do the work, basically. Yeah. And I like that Ubah was very supportive of her, because Ubah could have just like written her off and been like, you're dead to me, bye. But the fact that she's like, there's so much love there. You were my true friend, not like on camera friend. Like, I cared so much about you and I want the best for you. And I feel horrible for what happened to you. And, she just really said, it's going to take some time, but she didn't close the door on Brynn.
Right.
And I thought that was really great, because she didn't have to do that at all.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of housewives have been like, dead.
Well, the rest of them, while that was going on, were like, I'm never to be friends with her.
Oh, yeah.
And then at the end was like, oh, we're going to have some problems. But I mean,
well, because then, it's like there's so much like anger in the moment. Like, I'm sure they're they love her so much, but they're also so angry at her. You know?
Especially because she kept trying to spin it, and
yes.
like, you guys were just in there like, oh, how rich is he? Who is he? All that stuff.
Things that didn't happen.
And they were like that. All of them were just very much. We were not doing that,
right? Or even that whole like, you never said you gave her the benefit of the doubt. Like you never said those words.
Yeah.
It got really convoluted and tricky, and but I think by the end of it, when they came back from the break, which apparently was a very long break,
apparently,
that Brynn was able to say, I apologize, and and thanks, Jenna for what she said, and I feel like she has a better understanding of like,
yeah, I don't know. I feel like she was.
Though.
You're making sense a little bit. I feel like she was also trying to. I don't know. I thought what she said about what Jenna said about. I thought what Brynn was saying. Oh, when Jenna said that, it's the first time that I ever, I'm used to people being mad at me and then continuing to want to hurt me. Like, I'm not used to the idea that, like, people could be mad at me and they're not coming for me.
And still love me.
And still love me.
Yeah.
And I think that makes sense because a lot of the way she acts, even throughout the season, is just like she's trying, like, I'm not saying, like, it's childish behavior to say it pejoratively. I'm just saying it's like a child being caught with their hand in the cookie jar.
Right.
Like, no, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. And like just desperately trying to get herself out of the situation she's in. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that was what was going on. I do feel like Ubah apologizing and everyone being so... supportive isn't the right word because I like that they're supportive, but I believe that they kind of showed Brynn a way out of it, and Brynn capitalized on it.
When you apologize to Brynn, like for what she said about
exactly.
Like for somebody to get the job, that whole thing.
No. I just think Ubah apologizing and just saying like I forgive you and all that stuff, true as it may be, I think gave Brynn. It opened her eyes to be like, okay, here's how I get myself out of this situation.
Well, Ubah kept saying, like, apologize to the girls, and then she apologized to the girls.
I think really apologized to the girls. She could
have done it a bit better and a bit more like, yes.
Yeah. But yes. I mean,
She gave a blanket, like, I apologize for everything I did.
Right. The fact that she apologized to Jenna or to Jessel specifically about the Pavitt comment, and she apologized to Ubah, obviously, but then everything else was just like... And then I apologize to all the other women. It's like she doesn't really... I don't think I would really believe it if I gave an apology like that. Right. But at the same time, she's going through a lot. Yeah. And, if I'll give her the benefit of the doubt and just, she's trying to get out from underneath this and feel better about herself. And I just think that... Yeah, there's still work that I don't want to say work that needs to be done because I'm not her therapist, but
right. But I think obviously she needs,
yeah.
Because when she said two things, like when she said, it feels really foreign to have someone say I'm mad at you, but like also still care about me and not want to hurt me. And then also when Jenna said, hurt, it's cliche as it is, hurt people, mm-hmm. And she needs to really face that head on. Again, we're not therapists, right. But that just seems like what needs to happen, but that's up to her. I came into this episode thinking, or even the reunion in general, thinking like, oh, there's no hope for her. Like she's got it. Not like I want her fired, but like I don't see a path with her and the other women going forward. And then there was a path.
Yeah,
I feel that was created. For all seven of them to come back, because I think they are a great as individuals. Maybe some stronger than others, but I think as a group they really work, and there's obviously like a lot of love there, and I guess it's messy as hell, mm-hmm. and it's a messed up family, but I think there is something that can be salvaged. So
I think there's way more that can happen, more than just salvaging. I think that like this showed that things weren't as fractured maybe as we would think that they could have been.
Right.
Like that. Like I think as a group as a cast together, that they do have true connections, and they do have connections even in the superficial sense that like they are coworkers, quote unquote, but they're like, no, we're good coworkers, and like we want to make this work, because there's none of that BS where someone's like, I'm never to talk to you ever again, and and no one's stomping their feet and grinding, and digging in.
Right. And I think I left so invested by the end, and then like I loved that little moment with like Brynn and Sai, and obviously the moment with Ubah and Sai, and I like these women a lot, even when I don't like, even when they piss me off. It's never to like the degree of other housewives.
Oh yeah, that
piss me off, and I really want them to be able to move forward and have another season and like see where this goes if they just be themselves and be real like they were being in this episode,
right?
In these 2 episodes, it really and make a go of it.
Yeah. Do you really want it though? Do you really want them to apologize to Aaron more? Aaron, you're so great.
Aaron, no, me first. Aaron,
Aaron, I didn't mean those things I clearly meant.
Aaron, not a gaslighter. Aaron, oh my God, you've been there for me.
Yeah.
I can't wait for your baby to come.
I know, right? They showed that clip of Sai being like,
rolling her eyes.
She rolled her eyes like, oh, yeah, that's all she ever does. It's like
gaslighter Aaron.
Yeah.
And then Aaron's like, I'm not that person, guys. Like, I know you're not.
Yeah.
Like,
I was like, oh, okay.
But you had so much heat in the season.
It makes it seem as though maybe in the time between they stopped filming and then that they hung out together, and like
the 3 of them are very close.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it makes sense.
But yeah, I was like, so help me if Jenna turns and says, Aaron, I was like, okay, they lost me.
Raquel, Aaron, I know we just met, but I'm sorry that I too judged you.
Yeah, exactly. And I do love your husband more than I love you.
Right. Well, they're close too. They're
exactly
a couple. Yeah. So
no, I think you're right. I too didn't see that there's any kind of path forward, and I thought that for sure we'd be losing. It would be clear that they couldn't invite all the women back for another season. That there would have to be some sort of changes, but I think that they got to good places, and I don't think in a fake way. I think that they genuinely got there. There may be some, fast forwarding that, Brynn's trying to do. And I think that the same way that people don't argue with Ubah because they don't want to spend the time doing it, I do think that there are some people going, okay, well, Brynn's at least taking some thread of ownership for what happened. And it's not exactly what, I would want if in a perfect world, but, it's something.
Right. I think if they were allowed some time to like breathe and like not film, and they then can come back and not start totally fresh, but like work on things, and like really, if you want the friendships, work on the friendships. And again, this isn't, with the whole 2 things being true at the same time, we're not excusing the things that Brynn did and saying like, yes, now Brynn can come back and it's totally fine, Band-Aid stuck on and we're good. No, she like effed up a lot this season and was irritating and self-producing, and really kind of contributed to like the show not being great throughout the season. But I also think she's an interesting, dynamic person, and I want to see her be better for herself. It doesn't matter what we say, just like I'm invested in her as well as the other women. So, And I think that's what the hope is probably with the other women as well, is that like now that they're through this, maybe Brynn won't, maybe she'll stir the pot. But now that she's been called on it, she can't do it anymore because all eyes are like watching for her next like production move. And
also now that they've had it out, and especially such a dramatic way, they can just be like, Brynn, are you making that up? Like even she made the joke at the end, like, well, did you embellish it just a little bit?
Yes.
No, I did not. So
I'm not you. Yeah.
So no, I think you're right. And I was so hoping at the end, and you laughed at me when I said this, but I was so hoping when Andy was like, and we'll end this with something sweet. I was really hoping there's going to be another season, and I would have been like, yay.
Well, he could say that, because I've been like, we don't know if you're all going to be there, but there will be another season of New York.
But I hope there will be, and I don't think, given we would have heard something by now, I feel.
Not like this close to the reunion. I think maybe the next couple of weeks we will, but I really do hope that there's a season 16.
And I think the way Andy does have a kind of, he does seem to have a special place for RHONY in general.
Yes.
And with this new cast,
yes.
I think he's not going to give up after 2 seasons unless the network forces him to.
Right.
Which maybe he had to be like, okay, how about you guys take Dubai for a little
exactly.
bit? I get to keep New York. So again, and if they do film, I hope it doesn't last another year and a half. It's not in Atlanta or
No, we can't. I think it's going to lose the momentum because I feel like so much momentum was carried on in the Puerto Rico episodes and now in the reunion. There can't be a huge hiatus.
Yeah.
So.
Oh God, sorry.
You're like, I've said all I can say.
Yeah, I know. I realize now that we're in a good place with New York. I'm in a sleepy place.
And life.
Yeah, and life
in general.
So,
it's a late night.
Yeah, no, and you've said it very well, and I don't think we can say that.
No, I think we both said it really well. So pat each other on.
Oh, thank you.
We did RHONY.
We did RHONY. I'm going to miss having 2 episodes to do in one night. We've been doing it. We've been cranking them out.
Yeah.
But I got to edit this at my desk tomorrow morning. Oh, goodness. So, I mean, I have to work hard at my desk tomorrow morning.
Are you going to have time?
I should have time. Okay. Yeah, I should be fine.
Okay.
But thanks for joining us on this one. Please like and subscribe. The things that we should have said in the first 5 minutes of this episode.
Right.
But hey, if you're still with us, you definitely like us. You definitely subscribe to us. Please do the same.
Find us on Instagram.
Yeah.
Blue Sky. We're places.
We're places. We don't use many of them, but we're there.
Yeah.
And again, thanks for joining, and we'll catch you next time.
Till next time.